white light.
White light.
On the cards.
On the cards. That's it.
Ooh. Okay.
I can almost see it.
Of course. It's amazing how those little bokeh bubbles are flashing around. Okay, let's go, guys.
All right, you ready?
These cards are pre-shuffled.
Pre-shuffled.
By Ava in the moment.
And ready to go. Ta-ta-da.
And before we actually do the reading, let's explain what we do here at Virtual Tarot, okay?
Oh, yes,
we do a 4-card spread. We forgot to mention that. We got so caught up in the Empress. And the first card represents the overall environment of the month.
And the second card is your challenge, that which you need to overcome.
Yes, third card represents the unexpected.
And the fourth is the outcome, or that which carries an important event at the end of the month that carries you into the next month.
So here we go. You ready?
I am ready.
I'm a little worried.
It's her, you know.
Yes.
All right. That's interesting.
Boy. Okay, up comes the 5 of Wands. This is the 2 kids fighting in the back seat of a car card. And the reason why I call it that is that if you see this card, we've got youth who are sort of playing lacrosse with one another. It kind of looks like that. But, you know, just trying to get everybody on the same page. It can mean there's a little bit of disagreement in terms of who should sit where and who should work on this part of the project, or who's pinching me in the back seat of the car, that kind of thing. It's just kind of minor annoyances at work or in the home. And I feel a little bit of this sometimes. I mean, especially with last month, with some of the stuff that was going on. We had that 10 of Pentacles, which, you know, speaks to building an organization or some sort of structure where quite a few people can find their home, their place within the village. So I'm going to hand it over to Ava. Ava, yes. What do you see here in this lovely card, which is a wand card, by the way?
So it's about your passion. It's about, could be your career passion, your art. It's about inspiration. And there are several people involved in this situation. But some of them might not be concordant. They might not be on the same page about how to get to the end of this project, to how to complete it, how to make it shine. Mm-hmm. And the wands, if you see the card, is very symbolic. They are at cross purposes, but they aren't actually hitting one another. So there isn't that much discord. What's happening is that all of them have to be brought together so that they work as a unit. They can contribute their various skills, their various perspectives on the situation, and harmonically make them work so that you can bring your project to a conclusion.
It reminds me of chaos theory, you know, where things eventually, because I've been watching all these videos about physics.
Yes.
But, you know, things eventually move toward chaos as physics. So if you drop a glass, it like shatters into a million pieces.
What a lovely, lovely
sort of
theory.
Thing. But it reminds me, well, it's true, because if you drop a glass, it can go out in all directions. But you can also, according to physics, reassemble that. Time goes forward and backward. And the reason I bring that up.
Aha, that is true.
That it can all, you know, be reversed, I guess. You know, or avoided.
5 is a little bit of an imbalance. So when you see the 5, it doesn't have the stability of the 4, or maybe the harmonics of a 3.
It is the chaos card.
But it's sort of it's chaos that simply needs a bit of leadership.
Right.
So it's calling
or avoidance. Avoiding this chaos. You know, could be. I don't know.
Could be.
Just a thought.
Could be. All right.
Okay, so moving on.
Moving on.
Let's see what your challenge is.
Oh, I want to see it first. Page of Swords. Upright.
The baby Gemini card.
To me, it's the writer,
Yeah.
the
Communicator.
the linguist, the communicator. Your challenge is to become that, and to create something that you're not yet totally skilled at creating. Linguistically, through the skill of writing, through the skill of verbal communication. Maybe it's just applying yourself to a new area of communication needs, let's just say.
But it's a page, which it's interesting that we have this 5 here too, because the 5 of Wands, whenever I think of the 5 of Wands, I think of younger people. Young people who are trying to, and they're naive, so they're trying to learn how to work together as a team, and that's something that young people sometimes have a hard time doing because they're more independent. You know, they're sort of taught from an early age. This is more of a teamwork thing. And so it's interesting to see that we have this page come up, which is another youthful card.
Yes.
It could mean that you could find yourself, if you're, I don't know, in the school system, let's say, for instance, trying to get through communication, teaching these young people how to communicate so that they can work together as a team. Or perhaps you're in charge of a team and you're trying to teach them how to communicate better, but it's some sort of like teamwork communication challenge.
Yes.
And if it's not you, it could be you within an organization as a leader.
And it's initiation. So you're initiating some sort of communication. You're initiating some sort of intellectual project. You're feeling. The feeling is that you are out to represent a new concept of some sort.
Yeah.
And therefore you aren't as sure of yourself yet in this area, but what will promote it forward is your ability with language, which is absolutely Gemini. That is your skill set.
Which is interesting. Why is it a page? That's why I thought it might be.
Well, it's probably some area of your, well, it could be
a younger,
bringing together young people so that they all
Right.
work together towards the same goal.
Well, let's see. Let's pull another card.
All right. But again, it could be just you having to deal with
Well,
some
you could
new-
be a young person.
You could.
We're reading to the multiverse. Remember?
All right.
We love the multiverse, by the way.
Unexpectedly, the 7 of Cups upright.
Okay, so let's stop for a minute. We have each suit here.
This is such a Gemini reading. It's unbelievable.
We've got a 5 of Wands, which is passion, okay? Spirit. Then we have a sword card, which is the card of
Reason, intellect.
Right? And then we have this cup card.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, unexpectedly, you need to choose that which inspires you the most. To what are you going to dedicate your emotional energy to? You have so many choices. You could go here, you could go there, you could go there. And they all seem relatively, at this stage, unexpectedly, equally attractive. But they're very different from one another.
Well, it's interesting. What I see here is more of a vibe in this reading.
Okay.
Feels like a mood that Gemini is in. Okay, and I'm just going to put that out there because I see that there's this sort of irksome, okay, and it could be a situation, but I'm saying if this is a mood that you're in, which sometimes the cards can speak to that, a zeitgeist, you're feeling a bit irritable, maybe. and not able to get on the same page with other people, because you're looking at your options. And I'm just saying that because it feels like everything's sort of up in the air this month. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's in just one situation of your life, but I just feel this spirit of irritability, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's one possibility. Okay, there you go.
Well,
not being able to make up your mind.
I see it as all of this seems to me the prelude to accomplishing a certain closure or end to a project, sort of to bring together the elements to make it conclude. Because you're asked to think dynamically, you're asked to be very youthful in your conceptualizations. Mm-hmm. You're asked to be direct and to communicate clearly. And you're asked also to choose where you want to put your emotional energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that, but I also see like a lot of this could be internal too.
Oh, yes.
Like
absolutely.
this is internalized.
If it isn't external, if there isn't
stuff.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so let's flip that last card. Let's see what it is.
There it is. There you deliver it. 1. The 4 of Wands upright.
Okay. Well, the way I see this is working through last month. Because last month what we had was this whole idea of having to learn our lesson and having to like internalize some of this stuff that we didn't want to internalize and come out on the other side. So, I mean, this feels like part of that reading to me.
Well, it's a
storyline. Only it's minor. So, which is nice because it's just the whole working through of that where you're like, this is internal stuff, which is why I say this 5 is like sort of this chaos that's going on internally. And your challenge is actually to get a hold of how you're thinking about what's going on, but you might feel a little irritable and things may sort of come out of the side of your mouth that are a little bit maybe not PC or not the perfect thing to say or think. Sometimes, but then, you know, we have this unexpected sort of, which is to me, in this position, this is actually a good card.
A very good card.
Because if we're going to read this as a complete narrative, it looks as if now, finally, for the first time, you're actually looking at your options, and it really does go back to that Judgment card. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because now, all of a sudden, you're opening the door to kind of look at what's available.
That's right.
Could be who's available, even.
Who's available?
What's available? Right. What would my life look like if I went this direction versus that direction?
Probabilities, as you were saying, you know, the multiverse.
The multiverse, exactly. So, maybe that's why I'm watching videos.
Maybe that is because, you see, we have our decisions at every point determine the universe that opens up for us. All the elements of that universe being particular to your choice. So you make a choice and that particular universe of possibilities opens up for you. And so here we have at the end the 4 of Wands.
Yes, okay, let's say the card is the 4 of Wands.
The 4 of Wands upright.
It's the welcome mat card.
It is. You see there are 4 wands with a beautiful garland above it, meaning that this is really a gateway. You are crossing over into an area where you find total stability, where people are welcoming, where that team that was discordant is now cordant, is now harmonic and working together and welcoming, and everybody is supporting of you, supporting of your ideas, and you finish.
Well, this
you're
could
done.
also be internal. I'm going to go back to that.
Again, it could be.
It doesn't have to be a group of people welcoming you. It can just be you creating a foundation that that you can sort of live within psychically.
Yes.
Because this is your challenge.
Oh, but Gemini, if you're worried about that job, whether you're going to get that job, that's a very positive card.
Yes, that's true.
For that issue.
But it is also very positive if last month's reading, which was an important reading, because we had 2 major arcanas and a 10 of swords in the beginning, which, as you could, Ava's face dropped when that card showed up.
Yes.
But the thing that's really great about that is that if there was a breakup or a situation that created some instability or loss, this card points to a happy home.
Yes.
Or it could be a new job, new home,
You might move.
new group of friends.
New group of friends. You might move to a new area, but you'll be very pleased with your environment.
And if you already live there, you're going to feel great about it. Maybe you'll make it home, because sometimes people move and they don't actually move in. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Well, they don't unpack the boxes.
Oh, I see.
Because like if you're still in that old, mindset, that's why I keep saying this could all be in your head. You could actually move, like in your mind, finally, and make that move, which is what we saw at the end of last month.
It's a peaceful environment, whether it's internal or external. You arrive at a peaceful place, internal or external, at the end of the month, and there is a sense of accomplishment. You are being congratulated for something.
The other thing I think of when I think of this card is running a race, because I'm a runner. And when you run those silly little 5Ks, it always looks like this card at the very end.
Yeah.
And this always looks really far away, just as those people look really far away, and you're like, how far is that? And you're like, let's sprint. And then you're like, oh my God, it's farther than I thought. And then you finally
Out of breath.
you cross the finish line and you like throw up or something.
So you can expect to throw up right at the end of the race, Gemini.
That's right, but you're going to finish the race.
But you're going to finish, so somebody else will clean that up for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because that's Gemini.
But it's minor arcana.
You always get other people to do those things.
Yes. It is minor arcana though, and last month we had said you need to graduate, learn your lessons.
Yes.
And now at least you're learning one of them.
You're learning a great deal. But this is success. However that is translated into your particular life. You feel at the end of the month successful at what you had set yourself to do. So that is extraordinarily good news.
And you work through this situation.
You work through it.
This 5 ending in a 4 is really...
And I think you make a good choice. Unexpectedly, you choose well.
You're a good little mediator this month.
Yes, you are. And a good communicator. And that's exciting too, because writing is a Gemini talent. And so your challenge is to be that great communicator, that great writer, that great spokesperson, that great initiator of communication. So wonderful.
Just watch your tongue.
Yes.
We are so happy to do personal readings. We've done personal readings for quite a few of our viewers, haven't we?
At least 1,000.
Yes. And because we've done at least 1,000, we are going to hold a contest. And basically that will be a contest for those who have had readings. If you could send in a testimonial video, we will put your name in the flower pot.
Yes, some sort of vessel.
Yes, in a flower vessel. And we will draw a name, and the winner will receive a free deep meaning love reading.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
I'd say that was pretty cool. So
Yes.
please, this month, if you would send in your testimonial, then we will choose.
That's right. And we also do, as you have just heard, personal readings. If you'd like a personal reading, please go to virtualtarot.wordpress.com. Click on the Purchase a Reading tab. Choose the reading that most interests you, and then send us an email to avatrudy@yahoo.com, and zip, 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 we'll get right on it.
Immediately.
Yes. And we've done quite a few, and everybody's super happy.
Super happy.
And then the very last announcement would be, I feel as if I'm sitting in a pew. Council cards are available.
Oh,
Please
yes.
check the link below. Council cards will give you higher spiritual insight into this free 4-card spread.
Thank you, Trudy.
And then last but not least, we're going to give away one more thing. Remember?
What? I have no idea.
The guided meditation.
Dear God.
Yes. If you
We
would
are just
like
so generous
a
this month,
guided
it's beyond me.
meditation, go to our website, virtualtarot.wordpress.com, click the link below, and you will receive a guided meditation.
Thank God Trudy's here.
Yes.
All right. So,
Narrated by Ava.
narrated by me.
And I
do
love,
work sometimes.
I love to listen to these things because
well,
they help me go to sleep.
they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're very nice.
They're meant for that. They're meant to. Well, guided meditations are meant for many things,
Mm-hmm.
and we will create many of them in the future
Yes.
for various purposes.
Yes.
But,
And they're a great part of your everyday spiritual practice. So,
Absolutely.
and that is something that Ava and I will be working on, building structure around spiritual practice.
Yes.
See more of that.
Next
And
month.
I
Yes.
think that's it, right?
I think so, Gemini.
So thanks so much for.
Well, you had a wonderful reading, Gemini. Just
Yes, you
wonderful.
did. Lots better than last month. Thanks,
Yes.
Ava.
No problem.
All right. We'll see you next month.
Bye, Gemini.
Toodles.
Toodles.